Sega were the kings of 3D arcade fighting games, especially in the age of the Model 2 arcade hardware. Last Bronx Tokyo Bangaichi is one of the many fighters of the 90s, but one with a difference. Unlike Sega's other fighters, this one actually uses weapons. And to add to that, it was also one of the first motion capture fighters to use weapons back in 1996. Unlike most of Sega's 3D fighters, this was actually developed by AM3, the same team behind Virtua On. Most of the others were developed by AM2. This still plays like an AM2 fighter in some respects, thanks to using the same control system of grab, punch and kick. Last Bronx includes advertising for real-life brands, such as Suzuki, Toyo Tires, AM Records, Java Tea, Axia and Japan Airlines. Most of these advertisements were removed or exchanged with Sega or Saturn logos, or sometimes replaced with now printing signs in the overseas version. This is why I'm showing you the Japanese versions. The Western version looks so barren in comparison. The very first port of Last Bronx came to the Sega Saturn. Unlike most arcade ports to the Saturn, this was actually developed by the same team who made the arcade version. Straight away you can tell this is a work of passion. We get a nice animated intro plus all new animated endings for each character. The actual game is also very good looking for the Saturn 3D fighter and runs in 480i. We have lost the 3D backgrounds, but I do feel that the multi-parallax planes and the 3D fence help create the illusion of a 3D landscape. Gameplay wise, this port is perfect, playing just like the arcade version. We also get a few arranged soundtracks as a bonus. Japanese Saturn fans also received a bonus disc with Last Bronx, featuring tutorials, a load of radio plays and more. There was even a double-sided poster in the case and a set of stickers. Windows 95 and 98 fans got a port of the Sega Saturn version in 1998. This port is actually two versions in one. The first is based upon the Saturn version and is basically identical. Then there's a high graphics mode, which you are seeing now. This mode bumps the resolution up to 480p, although there is a 480i option too. You also get higher resolution textures and 3D arenas, just like the arcade game. They're not as solid looking as the arcade, but still pretty cool for the late 90s PC 3D fighter. The game supposedly ran at a faster frame rate when using the new auto control option. But in my case, all it did was make the game run at a stupidly fast speed, so I suggest turning that off. Sadly, the watch mode was removed, but a new replay feature was added, as well as a network battle mode.
Last Bronx 東京番外地
According to Wikipedia, this version is a straight up emulation of the arcade original. I seriously doubt it though. The PlayStation 2 was not powerful enough to emulate a Model 2 arcade game for the start. This is definitely reprogrammed for the PlayStation 2. There are many telltale reasons, but the main one is that many of the textures used in the game are different from the arcade machine. It seems Sega couldn't get the rights to use certain buildings' names in this remake. The Ichimaru Q and Tokyo names are missing from the department store on the first stage, for example. This port features 4 game modes, being arcade mode, versus mode, survival mode, and time attack mode. The replay mode from the Windows version is also available, but now with the added bonus of being able to save your replays to the memory card. I'd say in my opinion, this is easily the best way to play Last Bronx at home, unless you own the arcade board, that is. And let's take a look at all those versions of Last Bronx running side by side.